Greetings, Gatton Juniors. My name is Brandon Farmer, and I graduated from the Gatton Academy not too long ago in 2012. Derek invited me to Skype with you all. Unfortunately, I was unable to do that. I am actually volunteering at the moment at the Salvation Army here in Lexington, so I couldn't do that. But I decided to make a little video because I think it's very important for you all to see what the alumni of the Gatton Academy have gone on to do. And I just want to kind of share my story with you, and hopefully you can get something out of it. And yeah, so here we go. While at the Gatton Academy, I engaged in three very different research projects. Okay, the first was in Costa Rica. I went with Gatton to the Cloudbridge Nature Preserve, and I conducted a little small research study there. That was really a crash course for me into what research was. We had to collect data, we had to analyze it, we had to present it, and that was really the first time I had ever had to do that. So that formed as kind of an introductory course into research for me. The following summer, I was a participant in the WKU REU, so it's a research experience for undergraduates. It was there on campus. I worked with Dr. Matt Nee. We synthesized small little beads that you could absorb some substrate onto and analyze it. Uh, that was a very chemistry and synthetic chemistry oriented summer, which wasn't exactly what I wanted to go into. By that time, I had kind of chosen medicine as the field that I wanted to pursue. So after that summer, I wanted to find a lab that was doing something more clinically relevant, something that you might see with a biomedical application, something that you could do in the lab that would affect real people. And I identified Dr. Ken Crawford as a potential mentor. And Derek can tell you the story about how I got into Dr. Crawford's lab. I was very, very persistent. I basically annoyed him for a couple weeks until he relented and gave in and let me in his lab. So I joined Dr. Crawford there in my senior year of Gatton, and I continued that research into undergrad because I stayed on at WKU after Gatton. While at WKU, I continued the research that I was doing while in Gatton, so I stuck with Dr. Ken Crawford. And we were looking at wound healing mechanism in the corneal endothelium. So the cornea is the most anterior layer of your eyeball, and the corneal endothelium is the most posterior layer of that layer. It's very important for corneal clarity, so keeping your cornea clear. Your corneal endothelium functions as a barrier to keep things from getting in. So if you have impairment of your corneal endothelium, you're going to have things flowing into your cornea, causing opacities. And that happens naturally with age. You're going to lose some of those corneal endothelial cells. And so we were looking for an alternative mechanism to repair of a clouded cornea. Right now, the only way to do that is corneal transplantation, which is very expensive and also hard to come by if you live in an underserved country. So we found a drug called endothelin 1 that would increase proliferation of corneal endothelial cells, maintaining that barrier capacity for that layer. And that's what I wrote my honors college thesis about in my time at WKU. So I stayed on at WKU just 3 years after Gatton. So 2 years in Gatton and 3 years in undergrad. So 5 years total at WKU, but only 3 in undergrad. So I'm actually a year ahead of the curve. That's the benefit of the Gatton Academy, right? I also got to do some summers. So between Gatton and my third year at WKU, freshman year, junior year, whatever you want to call it, I did a summer at the University of Louisville. We were looking at some proteins in renal proximal tubules and how this drug was affecting these two ion exchangers. I also did a summer at Vanderbilt down in Nashville, and we looked at renal fibrosis. So I had, two interests going on in my undergraduate career. I had this ophthalmology kind of interest, talking about corneas and wound healing and corneal opacities and all that. But I also had a renal interest from my summers at Louisville and Vanderbilt. My research experiences, as well as my interest in people and the merge of science with with medicine is what really brought me to decide that I wanted to go to medical school. Um, I think medical school is the perfect place for people who are good at science, but also good with people. So I thought I was a natural fit for that. So during my undergraduate career, like I said, I wanted to go to medical school, but I also wanted to continue doing research. Research I played an important role in my time at Gatton and at WKU, and so I wanted to find a way to both do medicine and do research, and that made me gravitate toward MD PhD programs. So if you don't know what an MD PhD program is, it's where you're going to do 2 years of medical school and then your full PhD, 3, 4, 5 years maybe, and then your last 2 years of medical school. So it's a long program, 7, 8, 9 years long. But you come out of it trained to do science as well as be a physician and see patients. And that merge of patient interaction with the curiosity-driven science that research is today is what I want to do. And so that's what I gravitated toward. I applied to 13 different programs. I got into 2. It's very competitive. I got accepted to the Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, Virginia, as well as here at the University of Kentucky, and I elected to come here. Reasons why I came here: it's close to home. I'm from Lexington, and I like having my family near. But also, I felt this natural indebtedness to the state of Kentucky, and a lot of that is due to Gatton. Gatton brought me out of a rural public school and set me up for success. My ACT jumped numerous points at the Gatton Academy. And I got to study abroad. I got to meet really bright people and do good research and just experience all that. And so I felt like I need to give back to Kentucky, and that's why I wanted to train here. And I ultimately want to settle down somewhere in the Commonwealth. So currently I'm in my first year of medical school in this MD PhD program. It's going well. I'm in biochemistry right now. I'm actually just got done studying, so as a good med student does. So my advice to you all as juniors starting here at the Gatton Academy, first of all, you need to stay on top of your studies. I was there. I began in trig. Some of you are beginning in calculus, or calculus 2 even. Those are tough classes. These are college level classes, and you might think you know it, but come test time, you realize, oh, nope, sure didn't. So you gotta stay on top of it. And that takes some time management skills, takes some prioritizing on your part, but you all are smart kids, and I think you can do it. Second of all, I would recommend that you don't take this opportunity for granted. It's very special that you all have been accepted to the Gatton Academy. It's a program that, in my mind, is the best educational experience in the state of Kentucky. So don't do anything to mess that up, if you know what I mean. Follow the rules and be on your best behavior, because it's a very special experience, and it's a privilege for you to be there. So don't take that for granted. And thirdly, take advantage of the resources that Gatton and WKU offer. You'll get to study abroad. You'll get to meet important people that Gatton brings in. You'll get to do research. I'm a huge advocate for doing research. That's been a part of my life and will be a part of my life. So engage in those opportunities. You have to realize that Gatton Academy is at a very special place. WKU isn't a huge institution, doesn't have a medical school, it doesn't have a lot of graduate programs. So because of that, all of the resources, like the money and the time of professors, those are dedicated to motivated students like yourselves. So take advantage of that. Get in with professors. So start researching early. Perhaps you can make a long professor-student relationship out of that. You can maybe even stay on at WKU and do some good research while you're there. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much, and good luck to you. If you have any questions about my experience with Gatton and WKU and medical school, if you want to talk about that, just let Derek know. I'm sure he'd be happy to give you my contact information. Thank you all.